It's 7:10 a.m. This is what Boo looks like when he sees a cat outside.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It's 7:23 a.m. and Simba and Boo just got into a horrific fight right here on these cat towers. Now, I was not here to witness it, but I heard it from the other room, and I've never heard Simba scream like that before. When I came into this room, Boo was here. His tail was all big. Like, he looked like a wild man, like a total wild man. I don't know if he saw something outside and it freaked him out. Oh yeah, look. Little Richard's outside. There's little Richard. So I don't know if Boo was agitated from that and Simba just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But when I came into the room, not only was Boo's tail all big and did he look like a crazy man, but he was like moving his mouth like I haven't seen him do before. So it was like he just ate something. And I was just like, oh no, I hope he did not bite Simba. So then I had to find Simba. I looked everywhere, finally found him under the bed. And I had to coax him out because I wanted to examine him to see if he had any bite wounds or anything. So with the magic of a churu, I was able to coax Simba out from under the bed. And he ate part of the churu. Then I picked him up and I put him on the bed. And I gave him a thorough going over. Like, I felt every single part of his body pretty much. And I made sure I examined his arms and legs because a lot of times when cats get in a fight, that's where they will get bit. I know from when Boo was outside and when Ditto was outside, they used to get a lot of bites on their arms and legs. So I examined Simba. I have not found any puncture wounds, which is good. So for anyone who's new on this channel, Boo has FIV. He's FIV positive, and he can transmit that to another cat with deep puncture wounds. Now, so far, Boo has not exhibited any symptoms of FIV other than some of his teeth falling out, which could be FIV related, or it could just be his genetic line has issues with their teeth. But other than that, he has not shown any issues with regard to the FIV. And the only thing we really need to be cautious of is him biting one of the other cats in such a way that he would then infect them. And in order to do that, it would have to be like a deep puncture wound. So that's why when I was training him and integrating him back with the other cats, I was very, very cautious about doing so because he loved jumping on them and attacking them. And even though he stopped jumping on them, he is still a fighter by nature. You know, he was a feral cat for the first 2 years of his life. He had to be a fighter to survive. So he still has that in him. He's also an alpha. Like, he thinks he is just the king of the house and everyone has to bow down before him. So that's another issue. It's an issue of dominance with Boo. And Simba likes to be friendly, and Simba wants to be friends with everyone and wants everyone to get along. And Simba doesn't like to think of other cats, you know, having a mean bone in their body. He doesn't like to think of other cats being mean. So sometimes that'll put him into a situation where Boo might kind of misinterpret Simba's actions and then retaliate by attacking him. So yeah, it's not always fair to Simba, but he's a very good cat and he always means well. And right now I have Simba in this room with the door closed because the cats need a timeout. Stella's been in this room all morning. She hasn't left it, so she's still in here with us. And Boo is just out in the other part of the house. And it's really good to give cats a timeout to let them cool down. I found that works really, really well. Whenever there's some kind of cat fight in the house or a disagreement among cats or an argument, because there are all different levels of interactions with the cats. This was an all-out fight. So whenever something like this happens, I do find it beneficial to separate the cats and give them a timeout. It's as simple as putting Boo in his room, putting Simba in another room and just letting them cool off for, I would say, at least an hour. That usually works pretty well. Boo's not in his room today because I was just trying to examine Simba and deal with Simba. So as long as they're separated, then that's fine. Here's Boo. He just moved over to this set of cat towers, and he just told me that he was trying to do his job and Simba was in the way. And that's what happened. So Simba was on the cat tower. Boo was trying to do his job, so he was trying to get up to the window so he could look out and make sure he's monitoring the actions in the yard. And, you know, Simba was in the way, and they got into a disagreement. And Boo takes his job very seriously, so he wanted Simba out of the cat tower because he wanted into the cat tower, and Simba didn't want to move because Simba was happy where he was. So that is what was causing the fight. Boo says it was a very big misunderstanding. But Boo, you got to be nice to the cats, okay? He says he really didn't want to harm Simba. He was just trying to do his job. He's been very intense about doing his job today. We also have to remember that Boo is very sensitive when it comes to kittens because he's very protective of them. And we know this because when Splash and Simba were little and living outside with Stella and Boo, Boo was their protector. Stella would go out to try to find food, and I'd look to see where the kittens were, and I would see Boo with them. So we know Boo is very protective of kittens. We also know that because whenever I get a card and I open it up and it's one of those musical cards that have kittens meowing, Boo is very concerned about those kittens. Even if I'm watching a video, like say I'm watching a video on my iPad and it has kittens meowing, Boo gets very concerned. So I think what's happening is he's seeing these cats outside and they're very small and they basically are kittens. They're just older kittens. And Boo's very concerned about them. Cats are emotionally complicated animals. Some people think that animals really don't think, they don't feel, they're not capable of emotions, but that's definitely not the case, especially with cats. Cats are capable of emotions. They're capable of thinking. We know that because they can figure out puzzles. You know, I have these puzzles that I put the dry food in, and they can figure out like the feeders that I put the dry food in. So they're capable of thinking, and Simba loves reverse engineering any toy, even a toy on a string. Simba wants to always bite the string and cut the string in half and get to the toy that way. So they are capable of thought, they're capable of feelings, and they're definitely capable of complex relationships among their group. So I think if more people spent more time observing a group of cats or a group of animals and not projecting onto them, like don't project your own thoughts and feelings onto them, just observe them and just observe their interactions and the way they behave and you know, what they're doing and why they're doing it. And I think a lot of people would be surprised and also learn a lot about animal behavior. Simba has decided he wants out of my room. He wants to go downstairs. He's looking for Splash. You okay, Simba? It's about 8 a.m. The automatic feeder outside dispensed food this morning. And there's little Richard. He's eating some of it. That plate is from last night. It got blown around. So I looked at the security camera footage this morning, and it seems that some skunks really enjoyed the food that was in the automatic feeder last night. Possums came by, raccoons came by. So there's quite a bit of wildlife traveling through yesterday, which is good because the food that was in the bowl was the old food. I mean, it's been out in the feeder for like a year. So I was hoping that the wildlife would eat it. And then yesterday evening, I refilled it with new food, which hopefully is what the cat is eating now. And I'm glad that the cats have figured out that there's food in there. So that's what I was curious about. Are they going to figure out that there's food in that bowl and they can eat it? So that way, when I'm away for the next few days, they're not going to be completely without food. Again, I don't know who else is feeding them. I don't know where they go. They don't spend their entire day in my yard. They just kind of travel through. I see them occasionally. So good to know the feeder's working again. And it's good to know that this setup worked also. I saw like the skunks trying to get up into the feeder and even the raccoons. And there seems to be enough weight to keep it stable. So I did ask Grandpa Farrell if he could build a new feeding table. This is what I call the feeding table. And I told him that I would like it to be 3 inches taller. These are 12-inch legs. I told him I'd like 15-inch legs and a 3-foot by 3-foot top. And if it's a little bit taller, it'll actually fit over the plastic tub that's holding the automatic feeder. Plus, if it's bigger, it'll give more protection to cats that are eating under it. Also, I did not hear back from the rescue group that I contacted yesterday. So I emailed them in the morning, and I've not received any emails back, no phone calls, nothing. So I'll see if anyone gets back to me today. And if not, maybe I'll try calling them later in the day. But I've tried calling them several times and it just goes straight to like a voicemail. Plus, if I'm away for the next few days, there's nothing that I could really do here as far as, even if they sent someone out and I had to tell them or show them, I wouldn't be able to do that. So maybe I'll just see what happens, see if they contact me over the next several days, and then deal with it again on Monday. How you doing, Simba? You okay? You okay, Simba? You want a squeezy? Want crunchies? You hungry? You hungry? Now you want to sleep? Okay. Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos, and please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.